Hi there. I'm going to talk to you about something that we don't talk about. I've been inspired by some other YouTubers. Not that I'm much of a YouTuber. Um, the problem is bedwetting. Nocturnal enuresis is the name of the condition when you involuntarily lose control of your bladder when you're asleep. And that's what happens to me. It has since I was 16, 17 it might have been actually. Um, and it doesn't happen very often. It probably happens 4 or 5 times in a year. The most recent of which was last night, which is why it was forefront of my mind, and I wanted to, just talk to you about it because it's something that a lot of people find very uncomfortable to talk about, and I can understand that. But I'm quite used to it. I'm 32, so I've been doing it for 15 years, 5 times a year, so 75 times. So I've had an opportunity to get used to it. Now, technically speaking, I don't wet the bed. I wet my this thing, whatever this thing's called, the mattress protector. Um, but there's been times when I have wet the bed, not always mine either. The first time it happened, when I was sleeping with my partner, that was pretty awkward. That was not my best moment. It was pretty awkward because I thought everybody did it. I didn't know that I was the odd one out. I thought unless it's like a regular thing, it's just accidents happen, as they say. But I've learned that that's not the case for everybody. I think you either do it or you don't do it. It's one or the other. The people that don't do it have never done it, and the people that do it have done it a few times. And when I was in my early 20s and I was doing all my drinking and partying, it was happening probably every week, to be honest. I've been to the doctor and asked what's causing it. And there's 3 things that cause bedwetting. It's a small functional bladder capacity, which is not the size of your bladder, it's the size that your bladder can expand to and how much pee it can hold. A high arousal threshold, which means it's like a deep sleeper, it's hard to wake you up, it's like when I sleep, I'm dead to the world, I'm in a coma. And the third one is making too much urine when you're at night. And it's almost always a combination of those 3 things. Because I've never had a problem during the day, like I've never wet my pants during the day. That only ever happens when I'm asleep. I used to wake up in the process of doing it a lot more often than I do now. Very rarely do I wake up in time to do anything about it. I only ever find out in the morning or, early morning. I'll wake up uncomfortable and wet. Or my alarm will go off and I'll wake up and the bed's wet. Relationships is the thing where it comes up because, no one wants to, I suppose, share a bed with someone who wets the bed. But bereft of choice in the matter, Um, it's just something that I've got to deal with. I've got to accept, and to that extent, my partner will have to accept it as well, or they do, because it's nothing I can do about it.
Too pleased with this performance either from Jamie McMillan, awarding David Cunningham the chance for a really easy goal, simply handballing it directly to him.
A couple of girls couldn't take it. They were not prepared to accept that, and that's their prerogative. But most people on the whole, once they understand that it's like a proper medical problem that I have, they don't judge. I think it's an age thing, a maturity thing. As we get older, we get a bit more compassionate or understanding or mature or something.
This afternoon, he's going to need a scan on that one during the week, so very unlikely he's going to face off against the Hawks next Friday. And a lot of interest around Harry Mackay too. He went for scans yesterday. These are our 7 News pictures here. After training, he couldn't train with the group because his compulsory COVID test was delayed. He hyperextended his knee training by himself, so was a late withdrawal today.
I always do it. I never know when it's going to happen, but unless it's Christmas time, I always wet my bed in the days leading up to or following Christmas. That's usually what I get for Christmas, is a mess to clean up. Sometimes I know it's happening, but I can't do anything about it. Like, I'm aware of it, but not consciously aware. Like, I realise I knew it was happening only after it's happened, if that makes sense. I'm sort of in a bit of a trance, like I don't know, like a vague moment where I'm sort of paralysed a bit, and I just have to wait until it's finished. And then I sort of come to and realise, oh no, I've just done it. If this happens to you, you have to get a mattress protector for your bed, because sometimes, like if I'm staying in someone else's place or at a motel or whatever, I might wear a disposable tenner pull-up thing, but they leak. Or I have fallen asleep while sort of watching a movie. I wasn't prepared for sleep and I've wet the bed. Camping sucks when it happens when you're away camping, because you can't wash your sheets and stuff. But and it's quite a lot more common than you might think. Because I talk about it, because it's a thing that happens and whatever, I've met probably a dozen people that still wet the bed, even though they're of an age when most people have stopped.
You look at your season and you probably, look at some games, because we had some opportunities to win those games, and I think it's,
and usually they won't tell you about it unless I start telling them that I do it as well. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, that happens to me too.
We're under pressure, what do we do? And a couple of the losses we've given up.
Trying to keep it a secret's a waste of time.
So I think that's really held us in good stead moving forward.
Especially living in a share house. Because there's only so many times, like, what excuses can you have to be washing your sheets on a rainy day, or changing your sheets in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. and you're making your bed. And rather than lie and try and hide it and cover it up, I've found it much easier to just be straight up with people. Say, look, this is a thing that happens sometimes, I can't help it, and
the decision of the bloke with the ball.
That's
so
what's going on, and I need you to
if
just
they don't take it, so you get away with that one. So
mind your own business a bit.
Well,
Let me mind mine.
we probably got some lessons from last week's game as well. It wasn't perfect, but how to play this
You
ground.
do need to go to the doctor and get checked out, because there can be
allows you to adjust to the venue.
medical problems that it indicates to, like diabetes, neurological disorders like multiple sclerosis, prostate issues for men, and a couple of like nasty ones that you have to rule out.
Come at us with high pressure, which is a credit to them. They're
I have tried
the pleasing aspect was we give them 36 inside 50s.
behavioural interventions, so not drinking too much before bed, but still keeping hydrated like throughout the day.
Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure. It was
Waking up, like I often, if I'm especially probably not at home, but if I'm like staying at someone else's house or something, I'll set an alarm every 3 hours to wake up and go to the loo. I haven't tried the bedwetting alarm yet. I've never had, because it only happens 4 or 5 times a year. Yeah, it's not something that I've committed to, and I've always shared my house. Like, I've never had my own place. I've always shared a house with people, so you can't be having this alarm go off, wake everyone up, to announce to everyone that you've just paid the bed. That's not cool, and it's not fair to them. Yeah, it wasn't a problem when I was a kid. Thank fuck. The poor cunts that used to wet the bed when we were kids. Oh, they used to get a hard time. Actually, if it has to happen, I'd rather it happen in my 30s than as a teenager. That's, no, couldn't deal.
Very happy coach of the Saints. Some work from some Saints insiders. Definitely a formal request to move permanently.
Yeah.
Tipper having the fleet. SK Warren.
So, there you go.